The film opens with a young girl, Joey, scaling the cabinets in her home. With the ease of a seasoned climber, her small hands grip the wood, her feet finding footholds in the most impossible places. She moves with speed and precision, and it's clear she's no stranger to heights. As she reaches the window ledge and sits there, her gaze sweeping over the city. The thrill is palpable. Her home is perched atop the tallest building. Fast forward 20 years later, Joey jolts awake. The rush of the morning already upon her. She's late for work, racing around her apartment as time slips away. Just as she's about to leave, her phone rings. It's Michael, her younger brother. He needs a favor, as he's stranded at the embassy and can't get home without help. Despite the clock ticking, Joey sighs and agrees, deciding to go help him out. When she arrives at the embassy, the surprise hits her. Michael's been living in Africa for the last 15 years and is only now returning to London. The day drags on, and Joey offers to take Michael to her office. Just as they're about to head out, disaster strikes as Joey's motorbike breaks down. With no other option, they're left running through the busy streets to catch a bus 30 minutes later. Joey arrives at her office, the glass doors of the skyscraper looming in front of her. She turns to Michael, asking him to wait in the lobby while she handles her work. But as she steps inside, it becomes clear that Joey doesn't work in a typical office. She's a window cleaner high up in the clouds, risking life and limb to make the glass sparkle. Inside the elevator, Joey meets a colleague, her belly round and heavy with pregnancy. Joey, ever curious, asks why she's not on maternity leave yet. With a tired smile, her colleague explains that her boss won't allow it until next week when the elevator doors open. Joey heads straight to her workstation. She grabs her tools, securing her harness with the kind of precision only years of experience can bring. Hanging from the side of the skyscraper, she's showing no fear, just focus. The wind howls, but Joey's steady hands never waver as she gets to work. While Joey works, Michael is stuck in the lobby. Boredom creeping in, he glances around, then makes a quick decision. He's going upstairs to explore. Meanwhile, the building's owners, two brothers, are surrounded by cameras as the media buzz around them. In just a few hours, they'll host a massive event to celebrate their success. Back to Joey, she's still focused on her work, scrubbing windows high above the city. She's not alone for long. A male colleague joins her, and they exchange a few words about the upcoming event. Moments later, Joey quickly cuts the small talk. Time's ticking, and they need to finish before the party begins. In the end, she orders her colleague to split up and cover more ground. Hours slip by, the sky darkens, and Joey's still at it, her focus unbroken. But then, to her surprise, Michael appears on the upper floor, out of breath and looking sheepish. Joey's heart skips. This is not where he's supposed to be. She tells him to go back downstairs immediately. But Michael's had enough of waiting. He argues, insisting he's done with the lobby. Joey's frustration flares. She snaps at him, warning that if anyone sees him here, she could lose her job. The weight of her words hits him. Reluctantly, Michael backs down, muttering as he turns to leave. Moments later, Joey's phone buzzes. It's the operator urgently reminding her to finish up. The event's about to kick off and time's running out. To speed things up, the operator offers a gondola to help her finish the windows faster. Inside the building, the party is in full swing. Guests have arrived, including the family of the building's owners. Jeffrey, the elder brother, looks sharp in his best suit, while his younger brother, Gerald, is distracted by plans to meet up with his partner. But then a strange group enters. They're masked and move with purpose, easily slipping past security as there's no resistance. Back outside, Joey calls the operator, signaling that she's done and ready to come down. But she's also worried about Michael, still roaming the building and likely stirring up trouble. Just as the operator begins to lower the gondola, chaos erupts. The masked group opens fire, gunning down all the operators in cold blood. After the massacre, Two of the masked figures spring into action, hijacking the CCTV, cutting the electricity, and taking control of the building's digital systems. Meanwhile, Joey is trapped in the gondola, still suspended high above the ground. She dials the operator repeatedly, but there's no answer. Her calls are met with silence. The operator is already dead. Inside, the atmosphere shifts dramatically. Jeffrey, ready to kick off the event with his speech, is interrupted when the masked group storms in. Without warning, they toss tear gas into the air, sending everyone into a frantic struggle for breath. Unexpectedly, the masked group, quickly handing out breathing masks to Jeffrey and his VIP guests before binding them and forcing them to sit on the entertainment stage. Then the leader of the masked group, Marcus, steps forward. Calm and collected, he reassures Jeffrey and the others, telling them not to panic. No one will be harmed, as long as Jeffrey follows his instructions. But as he surveys the room, Marcus notices something is off. Gerald, Jeffrey's younger brother, is nowhere to be found. His eyes narrow as he turns to Jeffrey and demands to know where Gerald is. Reluctantly and with a heavy heart, Jeffrey reveals that Gerald is in room 572. On the other hand, Joey's pulse races as she realizes the gondola isn't budging, and the operator's silence speaks volumes. She's completely stranded. Panic sets in, but she forces herself to act. She starts banging on the window, desperate to attract attention. Meanwhile, Noah, Marcus's right-hand man, moves swiftly towards room 572, where Gerald has been knocked out by the tear gas. Gerald and his partner lie unconscious, and Noah doesn't waste a second. He slips a breathing mask over Gerald's face, then drags him to his feet, urging him to follow. Joey watches it all unfold clearly through the glasses, her heart sinking. The building is in chaos, and the masked group is behind it. She screams, her voice barely audible over the distance, praying someone below will hear her, but her cries fall on deaf ears. At the same time, Michael is trapped in a room of his own. The gas still lingers in the air, thick and suffocating. He does his best to stay calm, but with every passing second, the fear of losing consciousness creeps in. Shortly after, Noah drags the unconscious Gerald towards the other hostages, throwing him into the group. Marcus, cold and commanding, orders Noah to start pressuring Jeffrey and Gerald for their wealth. It's clear that this isn't just a heist. The masked group's real target is Jeffrey and Gerald's fortune. Specifically, their Bitcoin holdings stored on a flash drive. They want that drive, and they'll stop at nothing to get it. However, despite the beating, Jeffrey refuses to break. He stays silent, his resolve unwavering. Outside, Joey watches it all unfold through the window. Horror sinks in as this isn't just chaos. It's a robbery in progress. Determined, she rushes back to the gondola, desperate to find a way to get help inside. Marcus erupts in fury. He slams his fist into the table, glaring at Noah. He'd warned him as no one who's supposed to die. This was supposed to be a clean job. But now, with Jeffrey's life hanging by a thread, Noah's mistake could ruin everything. Noah immediately apologizes, and promising no more bloodshed. But his words feel hollow as the tension mounts. As Joey surveys the gondola, her eyes fall on a bottle of gasoline, tucked away carelessly. A spark of desperation ignites within her. Without hesitation, she pours the gasoline onto the window and sets it ablaze, creating a fiery emergency signal. The flames catch the attention of everyone below. Panic spreads quickly as the onlookers rush to report it, knowing the police will be on their way soon. In the operator room, Marcus's man curses under his breath, realizing what's happened. The window cleaner has drawn attention. Marcus reacts instantly coldly, ordering Noah to secure Joey before she can cause more trouble. Meanwhile, Gerald, desperate to escape, bolts for his room. But Marcus and one of his female accomplices are hot on his heels, determined not to let him slip away. Back with Joey, Noah finds the gondola and spots her still inside. But this time she's ready. Before he can act, she pulls a screwdriver from her pocket and jams it into the mechanism, halting the gondola's ascent. The system jams and Noah's plan goes up in smoke. On the other hand, Gerald reaches the room, his hand trembling as he dials the police. But before he can make the call, Marcus and one of his men burst in. Guns drawn, Marcus slams Gerald against the wall, demanding cooperation with cold fury. Marcus strikes Gerald, promising not to hurt him, if only he reveals where the flash drive with the Bitcoin is hidden. Gerald is about to speak when Noah enters, gun in hand, aiming it directly at him. Marcus quickly orders Noah to lower his weapon, reminding him they agreed not to kill anyone. But then, without warning, Noah pulls the trigger. Marcus collapses, shock and disbelief in his eyes. Noah doesn't flinch. He looks at Gerald and mutters an apology, revealing he's never liked Marcus. With that, Noah declares himself the new leader. Free to do as he pleases, he shoots Gerald in the leg, dragging him back to the interrogation room with the other hostages, all while a grim smile spread across his face. Moments later, sirens wail. The police are here. Joey's emergency signal has worked, but it may already be too late. As the rescue team prepares to lift Joey from the gondola, disaster strikes. Joey slips her grip, faltering for a terrifying moment. She's dangling dangerously, but with remarkable calm, Joey contacts Detective Ruth, who's on the ground below. Surprisingly, they're not strangers, as Joey and Ruth know each other. Joey's voice is steady, as she tells Ruth the priority is in her rescue. The hostages inside the building are the real concern. The robbers are holding them captive, and the police need to act fast. At that moment, Joey assures Ruth she can make it back up on her own. But the clock is ticking for the others back inside. Noah's desperation reaches a new height. He strapped bomb vests to all the hostages, the bombs wired to a wristwatch ticking on his arm. If his pulse stops, they all die. He's cornered, surrounded by the police, and he knows the stakes are higher than ever. Soon Noah calls Ruth directly. His voice is cold, threatening, as he warns the police not to make any move, to enter or disrupt his plans. But Ruth remains unshaken. With a fire in her voice, she tells him it's her duty to hunt down criminals like him, and she's not backing down. Noah's voice crackles over the line again. Cold and unyielding, he warns Ruth that if any officer attempts to take him down, the entire building will go up in flames. The bombs strapped to the hostages are just the beginning. Noah has planted explosives on the lower floors, and he'll detonate them the moment the police make a move. Ruth, determined not to let the criminals win, orders her team to move in cautiously. But the moment they do, disaster strikes. A massive explosion rips through the building, sending shockwaves through the air. The blast confirms what Ruth feared. Noah's threats were no bluff. Stunned, Ruth makes a hard call. She cannot risk any more lives. With a heavy heart, she pulls her team back and decides to monitor from the outside, unwilling to endanger the hostages further. Just then, her phone buzzes. It's Joey, concerned. She asks about the explosion. Ruth's response is grim. She explains the horror of Noah's setup. His wristwatch connected to the bombs is the key. If his pulse stops, the building goes down with him. Joey's voice cuts through the tension. Firm and steady, Ruth. Stay calm, it's my turn now. Ruth listens in shock as Joey reveals the truth, that she's not just a window cleaner. She's a former British Special Forces operative with skills far beyond the average civilian. She left the military for a quieter life, finding more purpose in her current job. Meanwhile, inside the building, Noah tightens his grip on Gerald, relentless in his questioning. He demands to know the location of the flash drive that contains the Bitcoin. His patience thinning, Gerald stands firm, refusing to break his silence, defying Noah's every threat. Outside, Joey is working furiously, trying to break through a thick window to gain entry. The glass is brutal. Every strike feels futile. She pushes herself to the limit, her body aching, exhaustion creeping in. Just as she's about to give up, a loud crash shatters the air. Someone from inside smashes the glass and pulls her through. Joey's heart leaps. It's Michael alive. The relief floods over her. But there's no time to waste. Without a word, they race toward the operations room, determined to stop Noah before it's too late. Joey and Michael sprint through the building, but they're spotted by 3 of Noah's men. The chase intensifies, but Joey, thinking quickly, leads them into a warehouse, setting the perfect trap with practiced efficiency. She takes down 2 of the men, but the last one corners her gun aimed. For a split second, it looks like all is lost. But then Michael appears, triggering a powerful explosion. The blast sends Joey flying to safety, while the last man is thrown outside. Out of the fight, Joey and Michael push forward, reaching the operations room. They neutralize 2 more guards and gain control of the CCTV and digital systems. Joey finds the hidden flash drive, containing Jeffrey and Gerard and Gerald's Bitcoin. She then takes action, contacting Noah and informing him that she holds the flash drive. With no time to waste, she heads to the storage room to meet Noah. Before heading out, Joey quickly calls Ruth, informing her that all systems are back online, and Noah can no longer control the building. With the way clear, Ruth immediately orders the rescue team into action. Joey turns to Michael, urging him to head to the lobby and wait for the rescue team. At first he hesitates, but Joey reassures him, insisting that it's for his safety. Reluctantly, Michael agrees and heads toward the elevator. Joey takes a deep breath, her focus narrowing. As she heads toward the storage room, where Noah is waiting when she arrives, she's met with a surprise. Noah has brought 2 of his men with him. Without hesitation, Joey takes them down quickly, her body moving with deadly precision. Only after they're neutralized does she turn her full attention to Noah, ready for the final confrontation. Elsewhere, the police move quickly, infiltrating the hostage room with precision. They take down Noah's guards in a matter of seconds and rescue the hostages, including Gerald, still wearing the bomb vest. Meanwhile, in the storage room, Joey faces Noah. His eyes lock onto hers as he demands the flash drive, promising to release the hostages in exchange. But Joey doesn't trust him. Not with that high-tech wristwatch on his arm, the one that could trigger the bombs if his pulse stops. She watches him closely, waiting for a mistake. Suddenly, Noah strikes and the room erupts into chaos. A brutal hand-to-hand fight ensues, each of them using every ounce of strength to overpower the other. The battle drags on, neither willing to back down. Then, with a final move, Joey manages to get Noah hanging from the edge of the building's window. As he dangles desperation in his eyes, Noah's voice cracks with rage in a last-ditch attempt. He threatens to trigger the explosion, to take the entire building down with him. With a calm, unwavering smile, Joey looks down at Noah, her voice steady. Jump. In the heat of their fight, Joey had slipped the wristwatch off Noah's arm and onto her own, a silent victory in the chaos. In one swift motion, she overpowers him and with a final decisive throw, sends Noah flying out of the window. The building is safe and Noah's reign of terror is over. 30 minutes later, the scene shifts to the evacuation. The medical team moves quickly, guiding the hostages to safety. As Joey steps away from the cast, Ruth approaches, gratitude and admiration in her eyes. She thanks Joey for her incredible bravery, even offering her a spot on the police force. But Joey simply shakes her head, a smile on her lips. I prefer being a window cleaner, she says, content with her simpler life. Michael appears soon after, and without a word they share a heartfelt embrace. But then, Michael reveals something that takes Joey by surprise. He's still holding Gerald's flash drive, and he has no intention of giving it back. To his shock, Joey doesn't protest. Instead, she agrees with his decision. As they stand there, a knowing look passes between them. This is only the beginning. Together, they are about to become incredibly wealthy, and with that, the story comes to an end.